Linus Tech Tips coverage of CES 2014 is brought to you by NCIX.com, your source for great technology, selection, and service, along with Corsair Memory and Western Digital.
Hey guys, we're here at the Phanteks booth checking out a few cases, one of which Linus should have reviewed by now but hasn't. That's the Enthoo Primo, and he will be getting to that hopefully shortly after CES, but for now we have the Luxe and the Pro and a few extra options for the Primo that should be coming soon. On the front panel of the Luxe we have two USB 3.0, two USB 2.0, mic and headphone in, a reset button, a light changing button which I'll show you in 1 second, and a power button up on the top which is not behind the hidden door. Within the hidden door is that light changing button. So as you can see, there's LED bars around the case, which are not going to shine directly in your eyes if this is almost anywhere because they shine down onto the case, which is nice because it won't annoy you way too much. Because the rest of the case is all black, and black matches quite literally everything. So as long as you go with black and then change to whatever color you want, it's going to match the rest of your build. Moving to the top of the case, you can fit up to 420mm radiators with this nicely removable fan filter, which is actually quite solid. Sometimes with fan filters, I'm worried that they're going to warp if I take them off too many times, but this one seems quite solid. Moving into the case, we have our reservoir quite nicely displayed here, more closer to the front of the case, mounted quite nicely on that bracket, but you could also put it in the back just in case you have a really long graphics card. So they have a spot right here which would work very well for you with a just nut and bolt to be able to bolt on a radiator right there. Moving to the back just so that we can see it easier, but you can access this from the front too. Right in the middle of the front here, they have a nice plate for some pumps. So you can mount quite a few different pumps there, and that's really easily accessible and nice because it has rubber mounting for the pump where you're mounting the pump, and it has rubber mounting on the bottom of the feet of the mount for the pump. So it's nice vibration dampening. They also have a radiator here in the front, which you can mount there or lay it down at the bottom. And if you mount it here, you can't have any hard drive cages, but if you mount it at the bottom, you could have a hard drive cage hanging from right here. So you have a ton of different options just in that small little area. Then moving to the back of the motherboard tray, you have a Pwm Splitter at the back which comes with it. It's quite nice. It supports up to 11 fans, which is solid. And you can get additional if I think you just have to buy them as accessories, and then you could split out to different areas and have different temperature zones. So say this top radiator, you only want the fans going at certain speeds depending on what temperature it is. You can set that area different than the radiator that you have down here, or whatever you want to do if you get different modules for that. They also have SSD mounting spots, so if you do like their configuration here where you don't have the hard drive cages, you can mount SSDs just right on the back of the motherboard or down here as well. They also have an adapter plate to hide the power supply in the basement. In their current configuration it wouldn't work because you'd hit some of the tubing and some of the fittings and stuff, but if you felt like being crafty and going along with this configuration, you could cut this guy a little bit and then make it fit, and it works really well with the case because it looks exactly the same and there is rubber grommets built into the side, which is really fancy. Linus's full featured coverage of the Enthoo Primo is coming, so we'll just be kind of going over the newer options that they have here. First of all, they have a standard white one now, and then for special editions they also have orange and white and red. The orange and red, well, all of them to be completely honest, have a sandblasted aluminum style, not a brushed aluminum, which I like quite a bit because your fingerprint burn-in is not nearly as bad. There's been cases in the past where I've built them wearing those like weird white gloves just because I have fingerprint burn-in problems like mad, so I'll leave like a crime scene across the case, which is terrible. So this is a much better style in my opinion. And finally we have the Pro. This is a costed down version of the Luxe, and it is very aggressively priced. When you come to the inside, it no longer has the basement, it no longer has the reservoir plate on the kind of front inside area, it no longer has the Pwm splitter on the back of the motherboard tray, and it no longer has one of the 140mm fans that come stock on the Luxe. But like I said, it is costed down, and all of these things can be added later. You could buy the accessory for the basement and the reservoir plate, and you could buy another fan to go put in there. So if you need something that has an initial lower investment, it's definitely not a bad idea. On the outside, in comparison to the Luxe, you lose a few things as well. The most notable, and what you'll obviously see first, is that the lighting features are not there. So on the I/O plate, everything is the same as well, except for the lighting button. And then at the top, you lose that extra shroud that you had so you could fit fans there, and the super easily removable fan filter, but you can still remove this fan filter to clean it elsewhere. Thank you for watching our Phanteks content. Be sure to rag on Linus to get that review out faster. As always, thank you for watching, and please subscribe to Linus Tech Tips, and thank you to our sponsors, NCIX, WD, and Corsair, for sending us down here to CES 2014 this year.